on to a slim thread of hope and a widely held dream of making the World Cup finals. The Atlas Lions have written a monumental piece of history and look to add another chapter today by claiming the scalp of another giant. France versus Morocco, the semi-finals we've had to wait for in years. But first, Percy and Lucky, welcome this evening.
Oh yeah,
thank you.
Thanks. I'm excited, for a lot of reasons. One, the African interest in there being Morocco. Two, I'm praying that Morocco wins so that all other things being equal, Lionel Messi would have an easy path to lifting the trophy. So today, my head, my heart, everything is going for Morocco. But put these emotions aside, it's going to be an exciting game. For the African interest, I'm sure a lot of people are excited. They want to see if that momentum that Morocco have been riding on from day one till now, they can still maintain that momentum. And I've heard a lot of people say, okay, they've done well. It's okay, semi-finals, the first African country to get to the Final Four. But you've listened to the coach, Walid. And this is the kind of mentality we spoke about in our show when we talked about can an African team winning. That is the sort of mentality. They didn't come here to, take semi-final position. They came here for the ultimate. So we're excited. We are looking forward to a beautiful
game.
Let's
begin, first of all, on the path to which Morocco have gone on. Many have said there's a fluke. Many have said they've just got there by luck. But to keep out Spain, to keep out Belgium, to keep out Portugal, and then not concede a goal from the opposition is no mean feat. Yeah. And it's been down to lots and lots of planning, starting right from 2007. Now in 2002, when the African Cup of Nations was played in Bamako, the next country that hosted the AFCON was in Tunisia. Yeah. Morocco went to the final of that particular tournament, and after that, it spelled the end of Morocco in terms of participation in major competitions. Missed out on AFCON 2006 in Egypt, missed out on the FIFA World Cup, and then King Mohammed VI said he needs to restore Morocco's football glory. 2007 went out for an unsung hero who many have actually not mentioned in name in all of this story. He's called Nasser Linguet. Yeah. He's the man King Mohammed VI went up to, brought to him the idea of setting up an academy. And then we find 4 of the graduates in this particular team.
Dave, like you've literally set the tone for the discussion. What we are seeing is, let's just reiterate, whatever we are seeing is as a result of hard work, is as a result of planning, is as a result of huge capital injection. And whatever resource Morocco has invested into their football now, whether human resource, whether capital resource, the rippling effect is what we are seeing now. Like I said, I'm sure they didn't expect that maybe they will see the result in this World Cup, but I'm sure at some point they expected, and you spoke about it. Listen, it was a conscious effort when King Mohammed VI, they put together that magnificent academy. They wanted to create an ecosystem of 3 main streamlines. So 1, they are looking at the national team. 2, they are looking at women's football. And 3, creating an ecosystem where they will have a sustainable channel of talent that come through the ranks for all the various divisions. So these 3 areas was what they were looking at: the national teams, the women's football, and consistent channel of talent. Now what they did so well was that for the women's, they realized that, okay, how do we grow women's football? So they've actually given scholarship to every woman in Morocco as we speak who is a student who wants to play football. So immediately you want to play football, what they've done is that you have automatic scholarship. Your education will be funded. You can play all the football you want, and we've seen the result. In 2002, which is this year, their women team, 2022, their women team went all the way to the final, defeating almighty Nigeria. They are going to the World Cup next year for the first time. That is the result of proper planning.
As far ladies won the
CAF Champions League. Now, when it comes to the national teams and club football, They won the CAF Champions League. Then what is it called? The CAF Confederations Cup as well.
They are defending champions of Chan.
The African Nations League. They are defending champions as we speak. So it's proper planning. Now you speak about the academy. As we speak, 4 of the players are coming from that academy. Now what they've done so well is that in order to ensure constant flow of talent, they actually have set up a scouting system abroad where they've realized that okay, football has now transcended Morocco. There are a lot of Moroccans born in France, born in Germany, born in Spain.
Actually, of the 26 that are playing at this year's World Cup, 14 were born out of
exactly.
Morocco.
And what they have a scouting system. There's a director of football for that scouting system who goes around Europe, ensures that he gets in touch with these players, make sure they connect with the Moroccan Federation, connect with whatever they are trying to do, so that it's not difficult to get these guys to play for them. Ashraf Hakimi, he was born in Spain. You know, he played for Real Madrid Academy, played for Real Madrid at some point, but they have him now. There are players who were born in Germany. Exactly. There are players who were born in Germany. There are players who
was born in Belgium.
Exactly. So it's actually a proper system. That's what Senegal do and Nigeria have adopted right now. Hopefully, I hope Ghana adopt it. For us, we wait. Oh, there's Tariq Lamptey. Let's go and talk to the family. There's this. What's his name? Callum Hudson-Odoi. No, there's a system. There's somebody who heads the international scouting system. Now, the national teams. Do you know that Morocco is the only country in the world that have 2 levels of women? What is it called? Federations in football. Unlike in Ghana, where we have the National Women's League, that's all. Morocco have 2. Where you actually graduate from the second level to the first level. It's never seen or never done anywhere in the world. So not to talk about rant and rave about Moroccan football and everything. Listen, there is a systemic plan, a project that has been put in place. FIFA, I think 2 years ago, lauded Ken Mohammed for that facility. As we speak, they've actually created a network that has international clubs. Germany, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid. There's a club in France, Angers, that partner the football academy. So the young talents that are coming up, they just have the opportunity to go to these clubs. Now there are 3 players that are currently with the Dortmund academy that are from that Moroccan academy. 3, 4, 5 years from now, we may see these guys performing wonders with the national team. The guy in the number 8, is it Onohi or something? Unahi. Look, listen to what is it called? Luis Enrique said about him. He said, "Where is this guy coming from? He's about the best young player he's seen in this World Cup, and he's a graduate of the academy." So I think that Morocco should be proud of themselves. And personally, as an African, it gives me the joy that okay, it can be done. If you put good leadership, again, let me reiterate, good leaders, if you invest right money, all the FIFA Go Project money has been rightfully, invested. What has happened to ours? Go Project 1, Go Project 2, how many Go Projects are they on right now? Over $10 million US, there's nothing to show for. And before Percy comes in, do you know they have a National Football Academy that has currently is linked up with all the various club football the clubs in Morocco. So they are producing they're producing players from the clubs through the football academy. What has happened to our Ghana Soccer of Excellence? There's a lot to talk about, but I'm excited, and I hope that other countries around Africa can emulate this, because success is not born overnight. Right now, football is, you need to put money in football. You need to plan. And I'm excited. I can't wait for tonight. It's going to be an exciting game.
Percy, you look at Morocco and they are an epitome of proper planning and success. To think of the fact that at the start of the 21st century, they failed to qualify for any of the first 4 World Cups. In their previous 5 World Cups, they have won just 2 of 18 World Cup games played. And now they find themselves a game away from the FIFA World Cup final. It definitely tells you the sort of work and investment planning has yielded.
Okay. When Lucky was talking, he said almost everything that there was to say. And in addition to what he's saying, I'm just adding something small, and we'll do a little comparative analysis to whatever has happened. Apart from even the national academy they have, they run something like a federal system. They also have federal academies. So let's say if we have 10 regions in Ghana, they have about 12 regions or so, like into 12. Every let's say if it's a region, every region has its academy, and they also have the national academy. That is what they have. And the coach they have, Walid, as he's being affectionately called, he's only one of 2 coaches who have were the first to actually do the pro license, himself and Pito. And Pito was actually, he revered Pito as his senior when they were into the academy. So when they met, that was when Pito with his Ali club, and with that they met. He actually beat him. If you watch that match very well, it wasn't fluke. It wasn't a fluke. He actually outclassed him, out-masterminded him, and he won. So just from the victory that he actually chalked with that, then he came to the national team. So when he even won against Portugal, Pedro was not surprised. If you check the post that he put there, that he really congratulates him. So this is a coach that is a revolutionary coach, a young man who is actually, he doesn't think like the normal mindset that probably any African coach would think. And to think of all of the quarterfinals that we've had in the previous years were by foreign coaches. And he, as a local coach, has not just done with the quarterfinals, he's also been able to advance to the semifinals. Now, Lucky was saying something that success is not born in a day. We've talked about Morocco extensively. I want to focus a little on the French. Now, whatever Morocco went through, that actually made them calm down. The French also went through it.
Yeah.
After they winning 1998 World Cup, 2002, yes, an injury to Zidane and a few things that happened. They had actually won the Euros. So during the twilight of the whole team was 2004 when they came to the Euros and they were eliminated by the Portuguese or so. Then 2006 World Cup, they went to the finals. What happened in 2008 during the Euros? They were eliminated in the group stages in the group of Netherlands, Italy, and themselves. They were eliminated. They came to the World Cup and there was turmoil. The issue with Ribéry and the rest and fighting with the referees, their own coach, Evra and Anelka had to leave the camp. What did Nicolas Sarkozy do, their president? He dissolved the whole FFF. And almost some of the players were told never to come back with Anelka and his likes. The only ones who were able to remain were Ribéry and the rest. So they started a project. These 2 teams playing, they are product of projects that have occurred during the years. So they started with the young ones. Who were the young ones? There was Samir Nasri, there was Karim Benzema, there were quite a couple of players. So in 2012 Euros, that was when they were actually eliminated in the quarterfinals. Then they came into the 2014. So the 2012 they came with Laurent Blanc, who started the project. So 2014 World Cup, that was when Didier Deschamps came in. And when Deschamps came in, every player that was in the era between 2006 to 2012 had almost faded out. There was a young Griezmann who by then had just moved from his team to Atletico Madrid. Then there was Karim Benzema. Then there were these few players. There was Pogba. Pogba was just around 20 years. Kante and the rest were not there. There was Matuidi and all of these players. They were started with them. So quarterfinals, they were eliminated. The same team, almost the same coaching staff, with that project that they have started from 2010, came into the 2016 Euros. And by that time, they progressed to the finals of the Euros. The same team, the core of the team was still there. There was still Pogba, there was still Griezmann, there was still Matuidi, there was still Hugo Lloris. All of these players were still there. So they came into the 2018, and what happened? They won the World Cup, and after that, the same core. You see, one thing that has helped them, that unlike the likes of the Germans and the Brazilians and the Spanish, they were not fortunate that when they reached the blooming time, their players had reached their twilight. So they couldn't continue, because for Spain, 2008, they won their Euros. 2010, they won the World Cup. 2012, they won their Euros. By then, they were all in their 30s. But with France, when they won their World Cup, 2018, how old was Mbappe? How old was Benzema? Benzema can even play. Giroud can even play. Their keeper is still there. And they are still in the form. And that same project, Clairefontaine project, that they have, most of them are in the Lyon Academy. And one other thing that has helped them is that When Morocco is doing you see, it's like the same project but the opposite ways. When Morocco is rather trying to bring their players who are born outside in, they are trying to retain the immigrants who come in, especially through the Marseille Pro through Lyon. So they are retaining every bit of player. Look at their first 11. How many French? I'm not being racist here. The whites are Hugo Lloris and maybe Giroud. They are probably the only, and maybe even Theo Hernandez is not even a French.
Even Giroud has ties with Italy.
So the only person you can talk about is Hugo Lloris. So it is a full assembly of outsiders. So the French have their academy and they are preying on every. So whether this one uses this or the other one uses that, it is a project they have embarked on. And I will still come back to what, like I said, what are we embarking on? Because every country that has chalked success over the years, the Germans, after 2002, 2004, when they went to the Euros in 2004, and they were not able to do anything, that was when Lothar Matthäus came up with a project, and they started 2006. They were in the semis 2002. They were in the semis 2006. They were in the semis in 2010, and they were the finalists. They won in 2014. And now you think that the Germans have come. Yes, that is what they do. When they lose, then they start everything all over again. We don't seem to know what we are doing.
Well, we'll definitely venture to that part later on. But Walid, let's talk about him. And tonight he goes head to head with a World Cup winning coach. He's already outfoxed the Euro winning coach, a Champions League winning coach. Can he find the measure of a World Cup winning coach?
Now, Walid is one coach that, if anything that Hassan Shihata has done, or anything that Pito Mosimane has done, and we are thinking of an African coach doing exploit, I think he would be the one. Because, like I told you, his progress, he himself has spent a lot of time in Europe. And like I told you, for him to be one of the only two African coaches to start the pro license, it tells you. And he started with the ranks. He didn't just burst onto the scene like we are doing. All of us, we are just appointing coaches. He started in the ranks. He started with the juvenile teams. He's coached club teams. He took with, and if you check the early team that he was able to beat, it wasn't just like probably a penalty or something. He beat Pito Mosimane, and he really understood that he has really been outclassed. So you watch him and you watch his demeanor, his press conferences, his post-match interviews, his pre-match interviews. You realize that it's like these are not Africans who are landlocked in the African continent. His mentality is different. The way he approaches the game, see, it is not a fluke that you go through a tournament and us at semi-finals, the only goal you've conceded
is not on goal.
No, this cannot be a coincidence. 6 matches is not a coincidence, or 5 matches is not a coincidence. So this is a coach who has really learned. He's not just learned on that, because now he comes in as a Champions League winning coach for Africa. So he has really, really amassed so much of experience. So for him, as you see him to be, he doesn't look like a coach that will slow down in it. One thing that I expect him to, apart from making history as the only African team that has gone to the semi-final, I see him to coach an European team. Because with the mindset that he has, and with the way he goes about his things, the players he's assembled are European players, European great players. They are European great players. So for him to be able to transcend from here, because now Mosimane is one of the few Africans that has transcended in Saudi Arabia also. I am expecting him. See, this match, it is like a veteran versus a novice, because this is a Champions League, a World Cup winning coach, a coach that has even gone to the Champions League final as a player, has won it, has gone to the Euros final. He has seen it all. So I am not expecting him to take this for. I don't think that he would be underrated by Deschamps, because Deschamps has seen what he's done to the Santos and the Enriquez. These are experienced coaches. So for whatever Walid is doing, whatever happens in today's match, he's already written his name, and I'm not expecting this to end now.
So let's look at the teams. Yassine Bono is in goal, and quite surprisingly, he's changed the approach for this particular one. Morocco are going with the back five today. They've got Ashraf Hakimi, they've got El Yamik, Naif Aged, who's recovered in time to be fit for this one. Romain Saiz is also back, and Nazer Mazraoui is also in there. He missed out the game against Portugal because of illness. In midfield, he's gone with Hakim Ziyech, Azedine Unai, Sofiane Amrabat. So Salim Amala is given the day off today with Sofiane Boufal in left-hand attack, and Youssef Enesri leads the line for France. It's more of the same. Okay, so there are a few changes in the French team as well. Jules Koundé quite surprised. I was expecting Rabiot to continue in there, but this comes as a trump card from.
Then it means Rabiot is injured because he's not even in the starting.
Adrien Rabiot is not even.
Maybe it's something that because if he was injured, it would have been written there.
Yeah, Adrien Rabiot is probably.
Yeah, he's actually illness. He's sick,
struggling with an illness. So Yusuf Fofana comes in. Dembele, Griezmann, Mbappe, and Giroud. Lucky, let's speak to tactics. In about 15 minutes, they would go head to toe. What sort of approach would you expect? Morocco have already given us signals. They're going to sit deep.
I think for the Moroccans, I'm not surprised it's actually gone for a 4-5-1 when they do not have the ball. Clearly, this is what they do best. We spoke about that yesterday. Their best asset has been playing without the ball. And somebody may ask, how do you play without the ball? The ability to control spaces and limit the spaces your opponent can operate in. So with 5 men in defense, 4 men in midfield, and just El Nasri up front as a lone attacker, what you expect from this lineup is that the likes of Mazraoui and Hakimi are literally the fullbacks who will be bumping forward. When they have the ball, it literally metamorphoses into a 3-back. It become a 3-5-2 instead of a 5-4-1. So it's what they've been doing all through their campaign. Have a lot of men behind the ball, limit the spaces you can play in. Yes, teams will create chances. We saw Portugal creating chances. We saw Spain creating chances. It's typical. I saw Belgium creating chances. But what this does is that they are able to exploit the strength of their fullbacks and the midfield. The likes of Amrabat in the midfield, the likes of Sofiane Boufal in the midfield. These are midfield generals, very strong, hard-working guys who work so much to win the ball and transition from defense to attack. So this setup literally means that they would give the French, the back four or the back line a run for their money when they transition from defense to attack, because the tendency that Theo Hernandez will come forward, the tendency that Jules Koundé will come forward is very high. When that happens, you leave spaces behind. They can create overloads with Hakim Ziyech and Sofiane Boufal in the team. So it's an excellent tactical setup. I'm happy that somebody like Roman Saiz is fit and he will play, because I was a bit skeptical about his fitness, and the guy who replaced him in Achraf Dari in the last game. I think that you need somebody who commands that defensive presence, somebody who is a leader at the back, and all throughout this tournament he's proving that he's an excellent leader at the back. Bono would have to be on top of his game because of the runs of Mbappe, the movement of Mbappe, Dembele, and Antoine Griezmann. Griezmann is a trump card for this French national team. A lot of people are not seeing the work that Griezmann does.
Speaking of Griezmann,
he's been excellent for the French team.
All throughout the tournament, he has a tournament high of chances created. That's 27. Now he comes up against Sofiane Amrabat, who has a tournament high of most recoveries, 41. That should be a fascinating battle. Who do you think wins?
I think that I'm expecting somebody like Amrabat and Walid to tell Amrabat, listen, disrupt their play, put wherever somebody like Griezmann goes. You shouldn't follow him, because other than that, or else he'll drag you away from position. That's what you do. What you need to do is just be hacking him in a sensible way. But it's going to be an interesting battle. But I'm expecting that, listen, Amrabat has not put a foot wrong in this tournament. I don't expect him to put a foot wrong. My only fear is that they do not get overly confident, because in the split second, somebody like Dembele, Kylian Mbappe, these guys can punish you at will. They should close them down. They shouldn't give them spaces, like I said, to operate in. Mbappe can shoot from anywhere. Dembele is ambidextrous. He can shoot with both feet, in an excellent way. Immediately they have the ball, try and close them down. Limit the spaces which they can have that split second to think and give a pass. It's going to be an interesting battle, but I expect that Morocco will not veer off what they've done all throughout the tournament. I mean, the lineup indicates that they are not changing anytime soon. They play very well without the ball. They will limit the chances that you create. They will limit, yes, you create chances, but they will ensure that you are not going to hurt them. And if you watch Morocco, whenever they transition, they are very, very good. Even against Portugal, when they were 1-0 up, they could have been 3-0 up with the chances that they created. So they do not just defend very well. When they transition from defense to attack, they are able to hurt their opponent. And one interesting fact is that the Moroccans are undefeated in their last 10 games. They've not conceded a single goal in their last 10 games, as in from an opponent. Whilst the French team have in their last 6 games, they've conceded a goal. It means that their defense is leaky and shaky. It's the reason why Upamecano is out, whilst this guy is in Konate is in. So clearly, there's a problem with their defense, and I'm expecting that the Moroccans will capitalize.
So I'll take the guys with me predictions pretty shortly. But for you joining our feed on YouTube, you could also join in and let us know. Do you think Morocco can cause an upset? We're running a poll currently, so just hop on there. If you're watching us live, just hop on there and let us know. So far, 77% are saying Morocco can cause an upset, and 23% are saying Morocco cannot cause an upset. What do you make of that particular poll?
The naysayers, change your mind.
Do you think
change
Morocco can cause an upset? Do you think France will be beaten? You know, interestingly, France have never won a game against an African opposition whenever they've carried the tag.
May the record continue
as defending champions. Let me be very specific.
Let me add this, Dave. I chanced on this. I do not know how true is it, but I realize it may sound true. You know, in 2010, Chelsea got Mata. Mata was wearing the 10 jersey. They won it. 2014,
it was
Andre Schürrle. He was wearing the 14 jersey. They won. 2018, Olivier Giroud. He was with the 18 jersey. They won. 2022, Hakim Ziyech. He's in the 22 jersey. So today, Morocco are going to the finals, but they will not win.
I don't know how much of omens you believe, but Percy, let me ask: if you were France, you go into this particular game knowing very well the sort of history they've had with African countries. Can they find one past Morocco tonight? You end that with your prediction, because pretty shortly we'll be joining the field.
Okay, France is one of the few teams, if they do it, you can talk of Italy that went to back-to-back final, 38 and 34. You can also talk about
Brazil, 98.
Brazil also went to the final in 58 and 62, which they won both of them. 94. And you can also talk about Netherlands, 74, 78. They lost both of them. The Brazilians went 94, 98, 2002. That's what makes Cafu the only player to play in 3 consecutive finals. So since 2002, we've never had a team
that's made back-to-back
yes.
World Cup final.
And for the back-to-back World Cup final, only 2 teams have gone and won. That is Italy in 34 and 38, and also Brazil in 58 and 62, which Pele, Garrincha, and Didi were part. The other one in Netherlands, they lost both of them. Brazil, out of 3, they won 2. So with France, is France going to repeat the Brazil and the Italy bit, or they are going to do the Brazil, which is the one here?
They must make the final before they can even think of
I'm just saying this. So I'm saying the final. That's the final I'm talking about. I'm not even talking about winning it. With this one, for an African, I'm expecting this to be a history. In fact, I wasn't expecting Morocco to make that history. After all, they were even the first to even progress. So I was expecting. So with this, I think wherever Asamoah is, let me just end there for whatever, because it should have been us. We should have been discussing this. But this French team, I told you, is a product of a very, very good plan that was put there. And I'm expecting them to finish this plan, making another history, which has been there, which is winning it back to back. Because if you look at this French team, they don't look like they are slowing down. I want to be very objective here. It is not that I'm trying to sound mischievous. Forget about their defense. You know, the French, it's not their defense. The French attack is so sharp. The question is that now, even if they change, you know who is coming? Kingsley Coman is coming. And if he comes, he will still this formation I see them. Moroccans are going to defend in a 5-back. Hakimi is not part, so it's a 4-back. He won't come and defend. Hakimi will leave. So definitely when they are defending, they will pack their back. But if Hakimi leaves, you know who is coming? You know that Dembele is coming. So for this one, my prediction, I'll do my first half. I want to do everything now. For my first half, I'm not expecting it to be a goalless first half. No. Although they've packed, but I'm not expecting a lot of goals. Maybe 1 or 2. Maybe we share the goals 1-1. But at the end of this tournament, I'm expecting there to be history will be created today. If Morocco goes to the final, it's history. If France goes to the final, it is history. So all I will say that history will be created. But I'm expecting a brace from Mbappe. Yeah.
Lucky?
But he has actually not predicted. The fact that Mbappe scores 2, that's not mean.
Okay, it will be like a 2-1 for France.
This is prediction.
Lucky. You find Morocco continuing the upset?
Like I did yesterday, I would wait till the second half. But I am expecting goals to be scored in the first half.
If you're a punter, let me give you this interesting feature. France have won all of their games that they've played in this particular tournament at halftime. They've always won the first half. On the flip side, Morocco have drawn all but one of their first half games. That was against Canada.
So how do we stick?
So make of it
one is winning.
Make of it what you want, but this is Sports 101. We'll be back at halftime to bring you a proper scrutiny of events that took place in the first half.